to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Hightower,
Here.
Mason, present. Mora, Walker, here. Cassette, here. Jackson, Travis.
And there's no public participation for the policy and legislation.
All right. No business. For our business, I did read them, it's all state regulations, so that we do that. By me.
Yeah, 722.02 is about bullying. We're just aligning our policy to be with the state requirements. So that's what that policy is for. And our attorney reviewed it. That is prevention of bullying, intimidation, and harassment. So that first policy. The second one is a follow-up with the policy recommendation when Mrs. Daska gave her presentation about the capital asset threshold. The common practice now is to have a $5,000 threshold rather than a $1,000 capital threshold. So the language in red memorializes that, and our attorney wrote that for us. Okay.
You know what it is?
No business.
I didn't mean to adjourn. Motion to adjourn the meeting. Please. Roll call, please.
Jackson,
Aye.
Espinosa, hi. Walker, hi. Mora, Mason, aye. Hightower,
Aye.
motion carried.
Thanks, Mr. Jackson. We're gonna go right into our facility and committee meeting. Your roll call, please.
Hightower,
Here.
Mason, present. Walker, here. Espinosa, here. Jackson, Travis.
Public participation? Not for the facilities committee, sir. On no business. Maybe business, okay. And new business.
Yes, we have Ricardo Anguiano from Gilbane to give us an update on the change orders and the construction project update. And then we have Dan Critta with Wold Architects to review the bids received for the maintenance garage expansion.
Okay. Who's up?
So, all right, we'll run this one a little bit differently. I see Gary meeting there with me, so I'll provide an update for both Sunnyside and an update for Riley North, and then I'll go to. So, we're going through over the past month. We done a few things, nothing too crazy, but we completed all the landscaping after this entire job over at Sunnyside. That's in Charlotte, as well as everything along the west side. We saw about 15 foot tall evergreen trees against the fence line in terms of loading back to prevent something like the neighborhood. There was also additional 6-foot trees installed in the median in that same area, again, to prevent from trucks actually. On Friday of last week, there was some new door hardware installed in the offices for both Sunnyside and Parker to be able to lock those offices in off hours. So all of that is in 2 hours last Friday. Apart from that, there really is. Oh, final item here for Sunnyside and Parker. We had 29 contracts to complete this role with all of our trade vendors. 28 of which have been closed off. So the only contract that we have open, we're currently working to close out and be 100% complete with Sunset Park. Any questions there?
Any questions?
For Riley Motorway. One more pictures in here. So we actually had photographer, professional photographer come by the facility and we document some of these spaces pretty well. I've been shared, as you can see, the space is cleaned up and it's beautiful. So over the last month, we worked through completing punch list items. We started off with about 750 punch list items. We're now down to 94. So we took advantage of days off. We're taking advantage of Saturday. We're not going to building that list down here as well. So over the next 3 weekends, we will still be in there just working on making sure that we can close out the punch list and turn over the space fully functioning and share with working. We had the commissioning agent for the HVAC systems stop by last week, and we're working on making sure that their HVAC systems working properly as well. So making progress, so a few items that we need to discuss there, but the progress is definitely been tangible. So
On the punch items, you said 94. Any kind of target date on those complete?
so within the next 3 weeks, we should
3. And are you involved in that? Simon?
Yeah, he's updating us. We talk about it every week, items that are remaining, and items that we still have to do. We fine.
Thank you, appreciate
It's
it.
on.
Good. All right.
that's really everything that we've been dealing with. Any questions?
Any questions? Wow. Good results. We like the progress.
There it is. All right, so we'll go ahead and jump right into the change orders. That's. You go to the second tab here. Second one, still left. Oh, no, that's. I don't know if you have it up there. I don't know if I got the change order. Well, I don't know if I got the change order. I can walk through here, no issues.
Ready to just talk us through it.
Yeah, for sure. So the first item that I have is the only change order for 72nd Carter. This is a credit of $21,155. Shortly here, Mr. Critic here will be talking about the garage expansion. So what this credit is amounts to is a credit for concrete work being credited back to the school district for a sidewalk that was supposed to be in the location where the garage expansion is to be. There also is curb and gutter that's being credited back, and a credit for the stone sub base was also included in there as well. So, and that credit is $21,155. So these next, there's quite a few of them for Riley Northlake, are all for Riley Northlake. So district change order 196 is for $14,723. This is for the replacement of door hardware at the stage area. The stage door needs to be converted to an emergency exit. So with that, we need additional hardware and patch old holes on that existing door. So the cost there is to provide that new hardware as well as patching up some of those holes to make sure that that door doesn't have any holes. So next we have district change order 197. This is a not to exceed value, very similar to Sunnyside MacArthur. To be able to have the ability to lock all of the office doors at both Riley and Northlake, This hardware would provide that ability to do so on off hours. In addition to that, there is also three doors in mechanical spaces provided in North Lake that need to have new frames, new hardware, provided so that they meet emergency part, so that they meet exit code for an electrical service essentially. Essentially, there's electrical service in the mechanical rooms, the door hardware needs to be modified so that it can easily access in case of emergency. Is what it comes down to. So again, for that change order, we're looking at $14,723. District change order 197 is for Riley North Lake PR 75. Here, we are looking at providing HVAC supply to a North Lake office, as well as installing 2 diffuser pockets, basically just metal trim around 2 diffusers that were existing, to be able to make up for the difference of a new lower ceiling here. So the cost shown on the screen, or sorry, the cost shown was $6,870. We actually managed to bring that cost down to $3,170. Next month, we'll capture that update on the change order platform. So district change order 198 is for PR 77 for Riley North Lake. This change order adds a TV location, all the infrastructure for TV in the fitness room, one of the fitness rooms in the North Lake basement, and it also adds the infrastructure for a wireless access point in the second North Lake fitness room. So cost here is $8,650. District change order 199 is for PR 79 for Riley North Lake. This change order adds 2 roof ladders to the North Lake roof. Right now, we have this value as a not to exceed. We're exploring pricing with 2 different vendors, a roofing contractor as well as a steel contractor, currently holding the value of $27,103. District change order 200 is for Riley North Lake PR 80. We're working through the BNF inspection, and we're working on getting the schools ready for students. We walked with the BNF inspector, and we found that we needed to add about 12 exit signs. It's something similar to what we did when we were opening Sunnytime MacArthur. So with that, we actually weren't able to get the proper signage. We installed 12 temporary signs, and we're now coming back to get permanent signs in within 2 weeks here. So the cost of getting the temporary signs, installing the permanent signs, and doing the swap is $5,480. District change order 201 is for Riley North Lake PR 81. Here we have the relocation of the projector and the projector screen at North Lake Gym. This also includes the removal of the light from the Riley cafeteria. So as of right now, we're currently working with Wold and 22 tones and making that swap of the projector screen. The reason this was brought up was due to height restrictions as the projector is currently installed. We'll be working on relocating that projector. So the cost there, currently listed as a not to exceed. We are currently working through some logistics and potentially cost savings for this. We currently have this at $13,150. District change order 202 is for $6,342. As we were working through the renovation for United in North Lake, primarily has to do with North Lake. There was some additional steel that were in that was required due to a hole in the penthouse. In North Lake, there was CMU that wasn't being supported by anything. So we needed to provide some additional steel to make sure that everything was safe and properly supported. In addition to that, there was also shear plates that needed to be added to columns, and then plates above, a new steel beam, to properly support the existing joists here, so. Yeah, 6,342 for district chamber 202. 5 more years. District change order 203, we have $27,330. As we were working through this, due to existing mechanical systems, we were having a very difficult time in locating a location for the new fire protection system over and right at North Lake's second floor. What we decided to do in working with Gold was taking advantage of the space above the lockers along the perimeter of that entire second floor of North Lake and repurposing it essentially as a change for the fire protection main. With that, we wanted to make sure that it was completely enclosed and not an eyesore. So what we elected to do is to build walls in front of that fire protection main. And with that was that perimeter of that school is quite large, so that's why you're seeing a rather large expense here of $27,330. But end result, with new code, everything is safe, so here's my goals. District change order 204 is for $11,056. This is a cost to install custom trim around diffusers and windows, again, due to the lowered ceilings. We went through this last year as well. For these diffuser pockets, since we were touching new spaces, we needed to essentially make the space cohesive and needed something here. So cost here is $11,056. District change order 205 at the North Lake loading dock area. School vendor actually hit a railing. And the cost to get that railing replaced is $6,389. The vendor actually has already made an insurance claim, and they're going to be covering the cost for this railing to be replaced. As a preventative measure, we are working on getting the change orders. We saw a bollard in front of that railing, so if anybody was to hit something, it would be the bollard and not the railing. District change order 206. This is listed as a not to exceed. This is for PR 79. This is for. Sorry, I think I misspoke. My explanation for one of the previous change orders was actually for this one. PR 74, this is the hardware for the Riley and Norfolk offices. So again, they're lockable at night, sure what that was. So that they are lockable on the time that they're not being used, as well as the boiler room trees, one of those spaces. That is a not to exceed value of $19,896. Reason it is a not to exceed. We're looking at finding value engineering options, which is making those doors hollow metal rather than wood, and seeing what efficiency we can come up with and the time frame for this work to lower the cost here. So, last one that I have is for district change order 207. This is for Riley North Lake PR 82. The west elevation of Riley. There was a canopy that we demolished, we found existing steel and some cleanup that we need to do. Or that we need to do So the cost of $24,821, cut the steel back, remove some remove some of the existing masonry that's there, and provide face brick so that that entire elevation is going to sit there. So again, the cost there is $24,821. All I have. Any questions?
Any questions? Good update, good report, thank you.
Everybody.
There you go.
Just what on the Ricardo presented change order number 201 for the North Lake Gym. And just the same commit to the board that we made administration that was a coordination issue on our part. In the North Lake Gym, the projector's hanging quite low over the volleyball court. We're working on a couple solutions of minimizing the cost, but finding a better location that's so it also casts the projection to above the stage. So just a question you probably didn't ask very design that our firm will be participating in the cost of something like that. So I'm going to present a couple of changes on the furniture front. Project Jefferson Whittier. Joe, you wanted to hit the Jefferson Whittier HVAC project. There you go, thank you. So we're closing out the HVAC replacement contract right now. And because there's always uncertainty in existing conditions, that we always put a little bit of allowance in there. Ricardo and his team have done the same on the larger projects. And at the end of the day, that project only had a change order of $6,600 with a total of over $3.5 million in contract. So project went very smoothly from a cost standpoint, especially. And right now, there's $36,000 credit that will come back to the district. That allowance is going back to you. So the contractor written a change order to bring that money back into the district's court. So good news, and that project will just go into the paper trail, closing things out right now. And then the next Jefferson Whittier HLS, I think we just had it on. This project also is in the process of getting closed out. I believe the change order list is down to nothing. So right now, there's one area where we wanted to relocate security cameras to get a better view, and it's covered in the boiler room exit. So at each school, it's about $500 each school for a total of $1,055, and we don't see that this project to have any more remaining costs or change orders. So we'll be in the process of also closing this project out. So you can see that the total change orders for this was the $16,000 plus the one we're presenting tonight, and the construction contingency is in very good shape on that project. That money will be untapped for this project. It'll be back to the district to decide what to do with that. Any questions on the two Jefferson Whittier projects?
Any questions?
No.
The next one, planning Sunnyside Carpenter and North Lake Perkins Bank. So these are just a couple of cleanup things on the furniture side. The district had asked for some additional lateral files to kind of make office areas whole, as well as replacement desk work table for North Lake Hardware. So we've gone back to the same vendor and requested quotes for that work, so that can go forward. So the total on this change order would be $10,495 to kind of wrap up the furniture at all the projects. Actually, this encompasses their contract encompasses all four of the schools. And the last one, I think, security improvements. Perfect. So in wrapping up the security improvement project, Video and Sound Service Incorporated, The last couple of change orders here are one to add amplification at the vestibule security windows. We understand there are some challenges in parents coming up and able to hear very well to the security window. So this is at all 4 of the windows at North Lake Riley and the 2 at Sunnyside and MacArthur here. We're adding a amplification system that'll allow that voice to be heard more clearly in the vestibule. I think partly this with the size of the vestibule and some of the fan noise in that space just drowns out the voice a little bit. So if you divide that by 4, that's roughly what the cost is for each of these buildings. And then we were also asked to add a card reader to get in and out of the Riley Intermediate School as you go out to the playground area. And then lastly, just a requested video and sound, because this is kind of their specialty, to go in and do some additional cleaning in the heart of the construction activity. We want to make sure that anything that got dust on it from that activity was cleaned up before it went into full service. So I think Joe appreciated that. And did $340, so their time well spent. That's it on the change orders, and that's it for security improvements. We may have a couple things that are attached to the things that Ricardo presented as far as the doors that you mentioned at the offices. The video and sound might have a component that, but we'll bring that back in the future. There's cost involved. And then lastly tonight, we had received bids on the maintenance garage addition. Waited to go right outside here to extend you another full bay at the garage area. We had really good interest, bidder interest. We actually had 9 bids, which is we're early in the season for bidding for next year. So and this was, I think it was bid fairly aggressively. We had very tight competition as far as where the numbers came in. The low bidder, as we vetted their bid, is Paul Board Construction, Chicago, and their low bid is $447,000, their base bid. We've been 2 alternates, meaning you can accept these or not accept them, but we want to to see where the dollar values came in as part of the bid process. And with that, the existing lighting replacement, which added in some of your existing Bay Area to go to all LED lighting, so it was really an energy efficiency enhancement. We're recommending, just because its number came in higher than we expected, to reject that alternate and look at another means to go through that LED replacement process. So that's a cost you can pursue in the future, maybe through a more cost-effective means too. And then the second one we are recommending that you accept, that's to enhance exterior lighting. So on the back of the garage, as well as on the space behind the existing garage, we're casting some exterior lights that will kind of bleed into the parking lot, because we know there's always been some concerns about the light levels here. So this will give you enhanced lighting on really the north side of the lot behind us. So that's a recommendation to accept that as part of their bid as well. So the overall, if you agree with that, the recommendation, the base bid plus the alternate number 2 would be a total contract of $453,600. Now, on the front page, I just want to call attention, we had an estimate that was quite a bit lower than that at the time we put the original concept together. And we were basing it on the type of construction that's already there. Added some of the help from our partners at Gilbane here to help us put an estimate together. The things that kind of changed during the process is because codes have changed since the last additions were built. We actually had to increase foundations, go a little deeper because the soil's there, and also add a layer of insulation so that building meets energy code. Those are all things that have, well, the energy code is something that has changed since the last set of last edition here. So we were basing it off an older style of building, but wanted to make sure we're meeting the code. So that did influence the cost here. It's also the smaller the project, the tougher it is because there's a lack of economy of scale. So I think some of that is also pushing that number up a little bit beyond what we thought. There is a credit that Ricardo presented tonight of $21,000 for some sidewalk work here that's coming out of the contract from Sunnyside and MacArthur, that this contract is picking up too. So you can say that 21,000 of that that award price is things that you're stating on the Sunnyside project, the property. So open to questions, as far as making a decision as to me.
They barely cook an open section, right? You've been in open
In
section.
the regular meeting, yes, we will ask the board to take action on it. And, as Mr. Critta mentioned, the bids came in higher than the original proposal. As I had mentioned to the board, the corporate personal property replacement tax that comes in through the operations and maintenance fund. We had gotten an increase of funds over the last couple of years, so that will support the difference.
Any questions for? No questions?
No questions.
None? Lucky you did a good job of selling.
That tried to be neutral. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Critter.
I should mention the schedule on this too is, we had given them a little bit of latitude. They would like to start before the snow falls, but, they'll kind of be weather contingent. But they felt even if they started after the worst part of the winter here, they'll still meet a spring delivery on the building. So, you should see that up. It's usable, for schools, this school year.
Anything else?
That is the end of the items for review and business.
Okay, can I get a motion to adjourn? Ms. Mason? Ms. Walker? Roll call, please.
Hightower,
Aye.
Mason. Walker. Espinosa. Jackson. Motion carried.
Okay, like always, you guys are welcome to stay. We've been on the latest extension in open session. If you want to stay around that time, but you're welcome to stay. All right. What we'd like to do now is go right into our regular board meeting. I get a roll call?
Jackson. Espinosa.
Here.
Walker. Here. Mason.
Present.
Hightower.
Here. Okay. What?
Okay. We just discussed during the facilities committee. The recommendation or the suggested motion, I'm sorry, is that the Board of Education award the maintenance garage addition to Paul Horde Construction Incorporated in the amount of their base bid proposal for $447,000 plus alternate 2 exterior lighting for $6,600 for a total bid amount of $453,600 as presented.
Get a motion? Section also. And Ms. Walker. Roll call, please.
Hightower.
Aye.
Mason. Walker. Espinosa. Jackson.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Okay. Open participation.
Thank you, Mr. President. We ask that the board accept the written correspondence as presented.
I get a motion. Ms. Mason, Ms. Walker, roll call, please.
Jackson. Espinosa. Walker. Mason. Hightower.
Aye.
Motion carried.
And I believe we have a public comment. Mrs. Moore, do you have the sheets?
Ms. Mason?
Yes, I have,
Mrs. Mason, sorry.
I have this, the name is Ms. Shapiro. She's, the topic of statement or question is homework clubs, IEP, better communication.
Okay.
Mrs. Shapiro, you have 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, when I first met you, I'm here to say that I'm like really open to communication, to be better. If I know something, I help whatever I could in the community, like, the strain family program. I give it information to the group, like, the funding, teachers, the foundations, I give it information to who was looking for, teachers, the better for community stakeholders. So I give you those informations and contribute. So I hope they go well with those contributions I make, but I'm not here to brag or something like that and get attention to me. So when I about the homework club, so really needs for the IP because like my daughter, I know we have an IP and you think, oh, they are already care, but it's not enough help. So like example, the schedule for my daughter is I do a lot of things outside the school for her. So she's tutoring for phonetic and decoding because she has dyslexia and ADHD. So, and also she has math, tutoring math of dyslexia. So she has 3 days per week. So it's a lot. So plus she needs to be on time for her homework. So, and she needs like professional help. I cannot help her, I can assist her because for dyslexia, a lot of confusions. Needs to, somebody is know about it, the teachers. So it's why it's so limited help for my part. So, but I pay enough to the people to really with private side. So I appreciated, take in consideration the homework club. So I appreciated that. And also I'm not one to here to make problems with no one because I just took looking in a positive way. Because like I saw the teacher, they are my best friends. Like you, I saw that everybody's my best friend here. So if they make a mistake, that's okay. Let's look in the solutions. I'm not trying to point in fingers. So I'm glad the teacher, Ms. Marie, to bring it in there. Mahaya needs to work in a lot of things, and I said, what I mean, but she has the IP, she has dyslexia. So she says, I need a word. So, okay, things happen. It's okay, we are imperfect. But I hope not happen again to somebody like me, that might other IP, because it's not fair for the kids and not fair for the teachers. Everybody's frustrated and everybody's like, what's going on, right? So I appreciate it. I don't know how can communicate and improve in this situation. Any ideas from you guys? Welcome to everybody to when they get the transfer to the different school. How can we everybody be on the same page? Because some teachers know about it because I communicate with them, but I thought they are. I don't know how you guys communicate. I don't know, so I'm not sure. So I don't have an idea. I thought if somebody knows, I think everybody knows. It's not a thing, but in this case, it's not what I was thinking. So
Mr.
why?
Brown, I just wanted to just remind you that it is 3 minutes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's
So I'm sorry, I'm talking too much. But
Thank you.
please, I appreciate it. The consideration.
Well,
I appreciate it.
We appreciate you coming and bringing it to the board's attention. We're going to turn this project over to Dr. Sutherland. In expectation, he get back with you some updates as we go forward.
Because that way, it's that the kids get the homework in on time, so they increase their grades. Because the homework is a lot of points.
Okay.
They have those kids.
Thank you for coming, bringing to our attention.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Absolutely. Thank you. Okay. Consideration of old business.
We ask that the board approve the minutes of the regular board meeting of September 25th, 2023, and of the special board meeting of September 12th, 2023, as presented.
You get a motion? Section notes, Mr. Jackson. Roll call, please.
Mason,
Aye.
Walker, Espinosa, Jackson, Hightower,
Aye.
motion carried.
Okay, any superintendent report?
No old business.
Okay.
And no old business. Also, I wanted to make sure I told the board that Mrs. Zimmerman is not here today. She wasn't feeling well, so I'll give her a report when she comes out.
Yes, that the Board of Education approved the accounts and claims payable authorization as presented.
Okay.
And there were no questions this month.
I get a motion. Mr. Jackson, Ms. Mason, roll call, please.
Hightower,
Aye.
Mason,
Aye.
Walker, Espinosa, Jackson, motion carried.
And the monthly building rental report is provided for your review.
Thank you. Yep. Ms. Travis?
No business.
Old business? Okay. Any other old business? Okay. We got a gift for everyone tonight. We're supposed to go into closed session. And we have nothing to discuss in closed session, so what we like to do is just go right into the regular board meeting consideration, right? All right, everyone okay with that? All right?
They're all on board.
Everyone on board?
Yes.
All right, consideration of business. Board reports,
For PACE, I have no report.
okay? What about,
It's, yeah, no report.
okay, Mr. Chavez is not here, as we had before, all our reports for the facilities being conducted for this, and it's part of your board packages. Okay, anything to help? No? Small's not here. What about parent teachers? Nothing, okay. This Mason, anything for food services?
Nothing to report, sir.
Okay. All right, thank you.
And for bilingual parent advisory committee, at your place, you have a copy of the latest minutes. So we had a meeting on October 12th, and I've spoken with Mrs. Mora, so she has a copy of these minutes as well. And Mrs. Hennigan, who is our director of English learning, facilitated, and we had one of our parents who's actually a staff member, Mrs. Guzman, she presented at the last bilingual parent advisory committee. And that was all on the topic of what parents can do at home to help their children with reading. And also how our after-school homework in other clubs just began this past week. So we've begun our after-school clubs. And one of our challenges with that is the ongoing challenge with transportation. But that is something we're continuing to work on, which is we do not own our own buses. We contract that out. The bus driver shortage is still an issue. And that impacts us during the regular school day. And it impacts us in the after school program as well. But we're doing the best we can to navigate all of those topics. So you have your copy of the last two bilingual parent advisory committee minutes. So I just wanted to share that with you on behalf of Mrs. Beck.
That's it. Okay, let me follow up on one thing. Ms. Mason, you took over Ms. O'Connor's.
Correct.
Ms. Walker, I know you new to the board and welcome, thank you. Have you volunteered for any of these board?
She's my alternate.
She's your alternate, okay. And did she also be your alternate for food and service advisory? No?
Why, of course.
All right. You know, we're a team. All right. Okay. Moving right along. Superintendent.
Thank you, sir. We ask that the board employ the following teachers pending all employment paperwork. Kelly Matthews, science teacher at MacArthur, effective October 30th, 2023, and Alec Ross, ESL resource, Northlake, dates to be determined.
Okay, any motion? Ms. Mason and Mr. Jackson, roll call please.
Jackson.
Aye.
Espinosa.
Aye.
Walker.
Aye.
Mason.
Aye.
Hightower.
Aye.
Motion carried.
We ask that the board approve the lane and step for the following personnel. Evelyn Nunez, lane 2, step 9, as presented.
In motion, Ms. Walker and Ms. Mason, roll call please.
Jackson.
Aye.
Espinosa.
Aye.
Hightower.
Aye.
Mason.
Aye.
Walker. Motion carried.
We ask that the board approve the licensed personnel leave request as presented for Kathy Garridos.
In motion. Ms. Espinosa and Ms. Mason, roll call please.
Mason.
Aye.
Hightower.
Aye.
Walker. Espinosa.
Aye.
Jackson. Motion carried.
We ask that the board accept the following resignations effective immediately. Marcus Jenkins, MacArthur custodian. Julia Maguilella, MacArthur teacher aide.
The motion, Ms. Walker and Ms. Mason, roll call please.
Mason.
Aye.
Walker. Espinosa.
Aye.
Jackson.
Aye.
Hightower.
Aye.
Motion carried.
We ask that the board approve the educational support staff leave of absence requests as presented for Tamika Sheridan and Mufti Taylor.
Get a motion? Ms. Espinosa and Ms. Walker, roll call please.
Mason. Aye. Jackson.
Aye.
Espinosa.
Aye.
Walker.
Aye.
Hightower.
Aye.
Motion carried.
As discussed in the policy review committee, we ask that the Board of Education waive the first and second reading procedure for the approval of these policies. These revisions reflect changes in legislation which do not require public review or comment. We ask that the Board of Education approve policy 722.02 bullying and policy 407.00 capitalization threshold internal controls as presented.
I got a motion? Ms. Mason, Ms. Walker, roll call please.
Hightower.
Aye.
Jackson.
Aye.
Espinosa.
Aye.
Moore. Mason.
Aye.
Walker.
Aye.
Motion carries.
We ask that the board approve the fundraiser as presented for Riley Intermediate McTeacherman.
Motion? Ms. Espinosa and Mr. Jackson, roll call please.
Hightower.
Aye.
Mason.
Aye.
Walker.
Aye.
Espinosa.
Aye.
Jackson.
Aye.
Motion carried.
We ask that the board approve the catalyst for educational change proposal as presented for the 2023-2024 school year. That's a proposal we spoke about last month, and one of the most important parts of this proposal is our English language learning audit, program audit, and this organization will help us conduct that audit.
Motion. Ms. Espinosa and Ms. Walker, roll call please.
Jackson.
Aye.
Espinosa.
Aye.
Hightower.
Aye.
Mason.
Aye.
Walker. Motion carried.
And then I have a few notes from my oral report. And I wanted to mention that these are a few dates. And I want to get better, and we're always talking about communication, so I want to get better with highlighting things that we're doing in the district. So this coming Wednesday, MacArthur is having their version of the anti-vaping presentation, which I think Mrs. Espinosa, you were able to attend.
I went to one of these.
Yes, and so MacArthur is doing one this Wednesday. So both principals, we were looking at our data from last year, vaping was an issue. And they both are working on ways to not only communicate with the students, but also with the families to do prevention of vaping. So that is coming up this Wednesday at MacArthur at 6:30 p.m. Trunk or Treat, which is a big event, is taking place this Friday, and it will be at Sunnyside MacArthur. It's at 5 o'clock, and it's a very well attended Jefferson Sunnyside MacArthur PTO event. That's this Friday at 5 p.m. at the parking lot of Sunnyside MacArthur. FYI, the Hillside Veterans Day Parade is coming up on November 4th, and we usually have not only the 3 schools that we have attend, we also have had our band attend in the past as well, our marching band. So hopefully the weather was good. Last year it rained a little bit, but we had a really good turnout. I will not be able to make it this year because I'm going to be in Springfield for my ISIL, which is my advanced leadership network. That is taking place on that Thursday night and then Friday and Saturday. So I'll be coming back at the end of the day on Saturday. But Ms. Spanifer, Dr. Spanifer, you've been at many of these events, so maybe you'll be walking this year, but it will be very well attended by Berkeley 87. We also have board appreciation coming up at the next board meeting, which will be here very shortly, November 13th, right around the corner. The joint annual conference, I want to say, if I recall, that Mrs. Walker is going to be attending and Mrs. Espinosa is going to be attending. I also believe that Mrs. Mora is going to be attending. So we have at least 3 board members. I think Mrs. Travis is going to be attending. And I'm going to work my way down there as well. So this is the III Conference, Illinois Association of School Administrators, Illinois Association of School Business Officials, and the Illinois Association of School Boards. So there is a great way to learn more about the role of a board member and what are the best practices for running a school district, providing leadership for a school district. And I also want to mention we had at this past, the timer just went off on me. I gave myself a timer, so my last one here. We did our online ALICE training and we did our in-person ALICE training And our institute day this past Friday, Alice, which I could not remember the other day when we did our orientation, Mrs. Espinosa, Mrs. Walker. It's alert, that's the A. The L is lockdown / inform. The I is that's the I part, alert, lockdown, inform. The C is counter, and then the E is evacuate. And that's an acronym for what we've been working on for our school safety. And there are modules for the board, which I included in your last weekly memo. And if we have time with Dr. Spatafor, when you always ask, do you have anything to add? Dr. Spatafor will share a little bit more, but she and Mr. White are attending an event tomorrow at Triton College. Should we ever have to evacuate, we've worked with Triton College. They will allow us to use Triton College, which I think is a really nice place that would allow us, should we ever have to do this, to house our children, that there's a large parking lot and we can get in and get out. So they're going to talk a little bit more about that. So that's all I have. Mrs. Zimmerman's is on here. And I don't want to put out.
No, just go.
Yeah, that's coming up. It's supposed to be on here, so I have it here under other new business.
That'll work, okay.
All right, sir. All right, do you want me to do Mrs. Zimmerman? Yes. All right, so Mrs. Zimmerman, our assistant superintendent for curriculum instruction, is not here, but she wanted me to remind everyone that we had a very successful Institute Day. We're very proud of our 4 instructional coaches because they each led seminars it was from SEL to more effective reading strategies, effective learning strategies. Our coaches did a great job, our instructional coaches. That was one of our ideas years ago when we created that position for our coaches to actually get professional development in our district. And so they did that, rather than bringing in experts, we have experts right here. So that went really well. And the schools will be presenting their school improvement plans for the Board of Education to review at the November board meeting. So unless there are any questions, that's all I have.
Good report, thank you for that.
Thank you.
Ms. Vince?
Yes. The summary of budget, statement of positions, and student activity reports for the period ending September 30, 2023 are provided for your review. Next item is annual item presenting the tentative property tax levy for 2023. The attachment indicates the proposed levy, and on the exhibit 1, exhibit 2 is what I actually think we will receive. This is the first step in the levy process. If there likely will be updates, so I may be bringing a revised tentative levy to the November meeting. There is some information we don't have yet, and the West Cook regional school business officials have another presentation with the Cook County clerk's office on November 2nd. So I'll be attending that, and if there are any updates that would change the projected levy, then I would bring back a revised levy in November. And then of course the final levy adoption is in December. So the suggested motion is that the Board of Education approve the tentative property tax levy for 2023 as presented.
A motion, Mr. Jackson and Ms. Espinosa. Roll call, please.
Espinosa.
Aye.
Jackson.
Aye.
Walker.
Aye.
Hightower.
Aye.
Mason.
Aye.
Motion carried.
And the change orders for construction project were presented during the facilities committee meeting. The suggested motion is that the Board of Education approve change orders number 195 through 207 as presented.
I get a motion? Ms. Mason and Ms. Walker. Roll call, please.
Hightower.
Aye.
Mason.
Aye.
Jackson.
Aye.
Espinosa.
Aye.
Walker. Motion carried.
The next few items are also change orders that were presented during the facilities committee. The suggested motion is that the Board of Education approve security project change order 3 as presented.
Get a motion? Ms. Espinosa and Mr. Jackson. Roll call, please.
Mason. Walker. Espinosa. Hightower.
Aye.
Jackson.
Aye.
Motion carried.
That the Board of Education approve the furniture for the Sunnyside MacArthur and Riley North Lake projects, change order 8 as presented.
Motion. Ms. Mason and Mr. Jackson, roll call please.
Mason. Hightower.
Aye.
Walker. Jackson.
Aye.
Espinosa. Motion carried.
That the Board of Education approve the Jefferson Whittier Primary School Health Life Safety Renovations Project, change order 4 as presented.
The motion, Ms. Mason and Ms. Walker, roll call please.
Espinosa. Jackson. Walker. Hightower.
Aye.
Mason. Motion carried.
And that the Board of Education approve change order 2 as presented on the Jefferson Primary Whittier Primary HVAC project.
Get a motion. Ms. Mason and Ms. Espinosa, roll call please.
Walker. Espinosa. Hightower.
Aye.
Mason. Jackson. Motion carried.
And then for my oral report, the skip renewal market, last month I shared with the board that we anticipate a 14 to 20% increase. We have another executive committee meeting on Wednesday this week that we will receive a renewal market status update. And I should be able to bring some additional updates to the November meeting. The final renewal meeting for our skip pool, insurance pool, is Friday, December 1st. So hopefully by the November 13th board meeting, I have some final updates. But unlike past years, the carriers are slower to submit their renewal proposals. And then, as I mentioned a little bit ago, the West Cook Regional School Business Officials has a Cook County Clerk's presentation on November 2nd that I'll be attending regarding the tax levy process. And I included links to the Township Treasurer's quarterly meeting update. They provided an update on the investments. There continues to be talk that the Fed may raise rates by 0.25% if inflation and economy continue to be strong. They indicate that the second installment taxes are due December 1st, which is really putting a crunch on the cash flow. There's been a lot of outflow for capital projects from all the member districts. Of course, over the summer and coming out of this, July, August, and the first 3 months of the fiscal year. They had intended to do some smaller investing of 6 months to a year to, so that the interest would cover the Township Treasurer's expenditures. So the full report is provided. There's a link on the oral report for you. And then they also updated their investment policy. And that is also shared in a link with you. And that is the end of my report, unless there are any questions.
Good report as always.
Thank you.
Any questions?
No questions.
Thank you.
Ms. Travis.
Yeah. So this evening, we're asking that the board approve the very benefit agreement. I checked back in May. I brought to your attention about Faith's Law and Verifin. Faith's Law was passed July 1, 2023. And what it is it's focused on the prevention of sexual misconduct. As defined in the Public Act 102-0676 by school employees, substitute employees, and employees of contractors. So what that means is this year, the HR department, as a part of our onboarding and vetting, we have to send any place that a candidate has worked with children. We have to send these forms to it, whether it's a school district, a park district, Boys and Girls Club, anywhere that they work with children. And it doesn't matter, it could be in the 80s, but we have to send this form to them. to verify that there was not any sexual misconduct. And so imagine, and I will share with you, imagine if we get someone who has had, 15 places where they work. So right now we do it by paper. So the candidates have to complete that. And then my administrative assistant has to scan it and email to those 15 places. Verify is a system where they allow you to send it electronically. So it'll save us a lot of time. And so we're asking the board tonight if we can approve an agreement for Verify. They work with several districts, companies to send the forms for us electronically. So Verify provides a system to verify base law and employment verification for school districts and other corporations. The use of Verify will allow the Human Resources Department to electronically verify new employees' verification forms for base law and years of service of employment verification. With that said, the suggested motion is that the board approve the Verify agreement as presented for the 2023-2024 school year.
And if I could, our attorney has reviewed the contract.
I get a motion? Mr. Walker and Ms. Espinosa, roll call please.
Jackson. Hightower.
Aye.
Mason. Walker. Espinosa. Motion carried.
As for my oral report, we still have a number of vacancies, certified staff, 22 vacancies, support staff, 6 vacancies, and district-wide substitute, 2 vacancies. We continue to work on those vacancies. I checked the frontline system. I'm going to Illinois State University on Halloween to their fall recruiting fair. So hopefully we get some upcoming December graduates. So I'll be going there on Halloween for the day. I want to thank you all. I got a chance to attend the American Association of School Personnel Administrators Conference in California, and it was a wonderful conference. I learned a lot about the national teacher shortage, retention strategies that districts are implementing, as well as about equity in the hiring process. Just a lot of information. So what I want to do is to share with you is during our November school board meeting is to do a presentation about the highlights of what I learned at that conference to share with you. Then also from that, with all the information that I learned, what I had a light bulb moment is as an HR person, I really understand the national shortage, the national teacher shortage. I really understand the state teacher shortage and the one that Berkeley is experiencing. But what I came to the realization of is that I really need to share it with you so that you see it as a school board. I also need to go to each school and share it so that the teachers and the principals see it. And when you see it, it's breathtaking, so that you know that we really do have to find and recruit people to become teachers. And so from that, I had the aha moment of you really need to create a presentation that captures all of this in one place, because we're dealing with 3 different shortages: national, Illinois, and then how it's impacting Berkeley. And that was my takeaway. And as I shared it, other HR people were like, "Oh my goodness, you're right." And they said we should get together to create the national, but then add on our Illinois and our local. So I want to create a presentation to share what I learned, but mostly about the teachers.
And we expect that this meeting.
I said November. I want to share it in November. I want to share it for the November. And if it is too long, I'll do part in November and part in December, because we have the national teacher shortage. But I also want to share the things that I learned about through the conference. So it may be 2. Yeah, to break it up so it's not so long. And then I shared about the fall educator fair And then information is coming out about the spring fairs already. And I want it because it's important that we sign up right away for those, career fairs. Because if you sign up right away, you're right there with the teachers when they come in. If you do not, you get put off in different rooms. So, Betsy, my administrative assistant, and I, we really stock those, fairs so that we can be first to sign up. So, we're looking for that information that's coming out. And I'm sharing it also with other districts and our HR network in the West 40 area as well, because we're all, in it together. Also, West 40, the HR network talked to West 40 and we said we would like to have a career fair for this area. So West 40 is going to have their first career fair before the college fairs begin in early February. So they're gonna host one on a Saturday. We selected the date and everything. So it's like beginning February before the colleges hold their fair so that we can host that. So that's going to be coming up soon through the HR network in West 40. Yes, any questions? Any questions? And then also I'm going to consider holding one for Berkeley because a lot of school districts, they're beginning to host their own career fairs as well. So one for Berkeley so that we get teachers and support staff.
Okay.
So from the West 40, that's one out for Berkeley School District 87.
We appreciate you taking this task on. We know it's a major task, so
Yes.
thank you for that.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, any questions?
No questions.
No question? Good update. Thank you, Ms. Travis. Dr. Smith, I see you sitting on the audience. You had an update for us tonight?
Just the information about the crisis response protocol. Dr. Sullivan sent me on that email.
Okay.
So those links would be the best to use. I'll also give this to you on your way out, just so you can find them. Video, which will have like an overview of the whole kind of crisis response protocol plan and the steps we're taking for training, and then also for the emergency system development and the platform that we'll be using. And kind of roll out throughout the school year for that. Like Dr. Sullivan said, I think we're very proud that we're working with Biden on a common terminology that we'll be using throughout the township. This is coming from NISA, which is Northern Illinois School Safety Administration Association that I'm a part of. And their common goal is to have common terminology throughout all of Northern Illinois, eventually might be all of Illinois, as there's obviously multi-agency response. So all the school districts having that common language is very important to them. And that's something that most of the counties are taking kind of a part of. So it's very nice that us right here on the border of DuPage County are going to be following the protocols that DuPage County just this summer adopted. We'll be using the same terminology. And now it looks like all of Biden is coming together to do that as well. So very proud of that effort with Biden and this reunification that we're looking at doing a mutual agreement with all of us in Leiden Township with Triton. I think is a very nice step of collaborating together, working smarter, and that all of us would have a very similar plan that we could all help each other with, and we could all keep refining, and not everybody having to do kind of on their own. So I think that is a very nice effort of them coming together and being a part of that. So very proud of that, and looking forward to tomorrow's walkthrough to see how this will work for us.
Well, thank you for your hard work, and anything you need from the board, let us know. Right into Dr. Sullivan, okay? Get our support. So thank you for the hard work. Okay, any questions?
No questions.
Okay. Mr. White.
Got a couple items for you guys tonight. First is just informative as far as the apartment complex next to Northern Middle School. We're gonna begin the demolition process on that this week. I worked with Paul Feldman. They had Northern Fire Department doing their testing there, so we wanted to make sure that everything should all are allowing the use of the apartment complex for the fire department training purposes. But other than that, the demolition process will begin.
When you say soon, when?
Like fencing them up today.
Oh, okay.
So within the next 2 weeks, we should be done on this. We sent out letters to the local residents. So that. Now, the second two, as much as I love to give great news, sometimes we run across some bumps in the road and make sure that you are aware of those bumps and how we are addressing those. All right, as Dr. Sullivan first touched on this busing, we still continue to have busing issues due to a lack of drivers. Where we can have anywhere between 4 to 7 buses per school building. We started out the routes at the beginning of the year with the amount that was needed. Now, when they don't have the correct amount of drivers, or when a driver calls in sick, they'll have to either pull a driver from another school district to come over after they finish their routes, or they will have our routes, do a route and come back and pick up the students, or they'll try to squeeze them all in one bus. And all that are huge delays into the kids' drop off times. And it could be anywhere from a half hour to an hour now that the students are late. So one of the ways we are trying to address that is because we know, they're still working on the driver part, but until then, we figured we would try to combine some routes as an official route. So we're going to combine 2 buses together. We're going to put them all on one bus. That frees up 1 driver. We have to redo all the stops for those 2 routes, because now instead of we can't have 1 bus make another 30 stops, because it's just going to put the kids that much later getting them back in the same place. So we had to redo the routes and redo the stops to try to equalize it. And that's the goal, is trying to equalize it to where it's not too long or too many students and that kind of stuff. So that's how we're dealing with it now. I have a couple of things in my back pocket that we're planning in case things don't improve, and how to address things for the next contract term. So we're still working those situations, but that's the deal with the busing. Until the driver situation or the worker situation improves, we will continue to have these sort of busing issues. Just be aware of that. It's one of them. Any questions on the busing part of it?
You stated that we're gonna combine routes, which is a good plan. Make sure we are aware of the capacity of those buses.
Correct.
Okay.
We do. We monitor the capacity and we never go beyond the capacity of the bus.
Okay.
Now, I don't even like to go up to capacity.
Sure.
Because it depends on the size of the students. It's easier for the small kids, but once you get the big kids on there, they're all crammed in and it just creates more chaos. But so we will never exceed the capacity of the bus for safety purposes or something like that. It's just easier to do it officially, creating the routes, because then it's easier for us to track, like all the students that are supposed to be on that bus. Who normally we have to do, bus counts, who's approved for the bus, like lives in the busing boundaries, and who actually takes the bus. So those are 2 different things.
So have we seen any classroom management as far as late attendance?
I think our challenges have been more after school.
Right.
We've settled in the morning, and one of the problems Mr. White has been experiencing the last few years, there really is no competition. There are not several bus companies. And that is, as Mr. White pointed out, there's a shortage. And so we are going to continue to look at what we can do. But that is an impact on learning. Sure. If our buses cannot get the kids here on time or get them home, because people, for example, want to have, let's say, an after-school club. Well, if we have trouble getting the child home, that's a drain on everybody, because your administrators are staying to make sure that the children get home safely. With our younger kids, I want to say, Dale, that would be kindergarten, 1st grade, 2nd grade. We don't allow them to get off the bus unless a family member is there to receive them. And then you get into that. If this bus is late, they might be thinking, "Oh, where's the bus?" They drive to the school. But now the bus is there, but then the bus is coming back because there was nobody there. And then before you know it, it's 5 o'clock, it's 5:30, everybody's looking for the kid and they're on the bus. And then God help us if we have a substitute bus driver that day. And so these are but Dale has given you just a reality, this is what we're dealing with. And working on our communication because we want to provide additional learning opportunities. But then how long is your day? Because no one wants to stay if you can't reliably get the kids home in a quick manner. So.
I'm sorry, Dr. Sullivan, is the district still using that bus program as a bus bulletin with busway or they still use?
And they still use it out, I still get a lot of complaints about it, like it doesn't go out in time. And when I call, they rely a lot on the driver to notify them. So you know, sometimes you'll get them, sometimes you won't, or you'll get them like late, you know, already like 10 minutes after the student is supposed to be there. And then you'll get the drivers that come from out of district who won't even know the route, you know, and then don't even know, and then it's continual problems with that. Because they have to physically, you know, send it out. But sometimes you even have the people in the office who send it out, driving the bus, because there aren't enough. So they pull the personnel out of the office to help sub and all those cases. So they're not even, you know, just the Spanish person is the only one in the office.
Well, Mr. White, thank you for flagging that. I know you're trying to put a plan in place. Keep safety in mind.
Yes, yeah, of course.
At all time. Okay. Any questions?
What is our communication strategy for parents as we figure out these children?
The bus routes go to the schools and the schools send the new routes out to the parents. Yeah, one more thing.
Sure.
No more bumpy road. We're supposed to sandwich HVAC system. So we're still dealing with HVAC issues, heating, cooling problem. Where we have all, I guess the way I want to explain it, but we did install all new air handlers. All of our internal valves and controllers were already existing. So during the project, we replaced them as they were bad, or we caught them, or whatever. We're still dealing with HVAC issues. Either way, kind of cool. But there's been full staff that working every day. We deal with electrical issues, and you can go between, they say it's an electrical problem, electrician says it's a mechanical problem. Mechanical problem says it's not them. We even bring in third-party companies in Chile. You know, okay, tell us what is it really kind of thing, you know. We go from there. So we have gotten through a lot of it, all the schools, eating was the big thing when we switched over. It's all working now, but we still have probably over half a dozen rooms that need controllers or parts that have to be ordered. And then you're still waiting on that whole waiting on parts thing. But they're still there working every day, and every day they knock more of those punch list type items off the list.
A lot of good news.
Well, it's important that there are issues there, we are working on them. And sometimes things don't happen as quickly as we like, but we're aware of them and they are being worked on.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. White? Anyone? Okay. Mr. Byrne, you're up.
Thank you. Continuing to knock out projects for Riley and Northlake, cameras, access points. We focused on classroom technology first, but there's some places like you heard about today, the Northlake gym, some of the breakout rooms that there's still work to be done. It's interested, Dr. Spatafor and some others have reached out. Police departments have reached out and have been utilizing our cameras recently, so hopefully we're partnering with them to provide them footage to help in their pursuits. We're going to be starting some E-rate work. E-rate is funding that we get from the federal government. The projects with Riley, Northlake, Sunnyside, and MacArthur. We've used all of our what's called Category 2 funding. So you get 5 years For us, we get about $400,000, $157 per student over a 5-year span. We've utilized all those funds, but we're in great shape because we have 4 schools that have up-to-date networks. But we'll have to use some local funds to get Jefferson and Whittier up to speed. We've also purchased our Chromebook the last 2 years, which is called the ECF, or Emergency Connectivity Fund. So it's about $550,000 on that. But they're not offering that again, the federal government, so we'll have to be creative on how we fund things or look for other grant opportunities. So kind of those conversations about funding will be taking place to make sure we have what we need for next school year. And then staffing at the technology department, something that we're struggling with a little bit. So trying to be creative and coming up with a plan to make sure we're fully staffed and able to support and implement everything that we do here at District 87.
Got all the things you need, all the tools?
And we're working on it.
Thank you. Okay.
So one other new business item, so board member Mrs. Mason has a new business item, and that is to ask the board to discuss and possibly consider the start time and making a change in the start time from the current time of 7 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. So Mrs. Mason.
I want to say, first of all, thank you all, for being understanding and me leaving at 9 p.m. I do that because I have some personal issues that I have to address in the PM hours. But I also understand that I may not be the only one when it comes to the PM hours, have a need to get home, get rest, get ready for the next day. So I'm not saying that it's all on me, but I will take the burden and I will say yay if you all would be in agreement for the meetings to start at 6:30 p.m. as opposed to 7 p.m. 30 minutes, I know for some of you that may be cutting it close because you have PM jobs and you have to travel. I understand if we don't have a consensus on this, but I really, really, really would like to be here to the end of the meetings. Because I feel bad when I do leave and I don't know what is going on afterwards until I, get the minutes. So if you all would just please.
You are so kind. What I would like to recommend that take this full board matter tonight, take it before the board because we see a couple of absences, and we know people work other jobs. Get late. Like take it for the full board and try to accommodate that request.
Yes.
Is that okay, board members? Yes. So, Dr. Sutton, could you add that to our next agenda? Yes, sir. The agenda item, and we'll take it before the full board.
Yes.
Okay. I understand. But you are so kind. All right. Anything else? Okay. Wow, we'll give you a couple minutes back tonight. I get a motion to adjourn. Those hands go up. Look at that, look at that. Mr. Jackson and Mr. Walker. Roll call, please.
Hightower.
Aye.
Mason. Aye. Walker. Aye. Espinosa. Aye. Motion carried.
Okay, thanks, everybody. See you next board meeting. We'll stay home. Okay.